So Nick Fuentes is not having a good month. After all of that excitement he had after the election, talking about your body, my choice, all that negative energy he put out, talking about he had control over women's bodies and men had control over women's bodies. The same Nick Fuentes that has never been with a woman at all. I clicked the card for the video that I did on him and my speculations of him being afraid of women and may not even being attracted to women at all. But I digress. Nick Fuentes apparently a few days ago had a attempt on his life where a man in his area unalived 3 people. Apparently it was a family of people, unfortunately. And then he came over to Nick Fuentes' house with a pew-pew and a crossbow and wanted to give the business to Nick Fuentes. And so now Nick Fuentes is on Twitter or the town square, and he's talking about he needs to move and he is going to have to get 24-hour security and all of this other stuff. Well, when you put things out like that, when you put that type of negative energy out, what do you expect to get back? I don't condone violence. I think that what this person did to that family is appalling. I do not agree with going over there and giving Nick Fuentes the business. But my thing is, when you put that type of stuff out, you become a target. When you put out hate, when you put out that type of rhetoric, you always become a target. That's how it goes. Whether that is karma or whether that's just the way it is, that's what you put out. So Nick Fuentes can't be upset with anybody but Nick Fuentes. And unfortunately, apparently there was the suspect, when he couldn't get Nick Fuentes, he went to another neighbor of his house and unalived 2 dogs from that neighbor, which things like this can be avoided. It really can. Mental health is a very important thing, and it's run rampant in this country, where the mental health of the country at large, has gone down in this country, and for good reason, for very good reason. But people are not handling that well. People are voting against their own interests. People are hurting each other and kicking down instead of looking up. People are unaliving people because they're just sick and tired of being sick and tired. But when you have people who get famous by perpetuating that hate, by exacerbating that mental illness issue, an epidemic that we have in this country, this is the result. So we can take lessons from this. We can take lessons from Nick Fuentes' arc that he is having right now and understand that Nick Fuentes is not, some type of martyr because he was targeted to be unalived by somebody. No, he's an example of everything that you shouldn't do and shouldn't be. The way that he thinks, the way that he acts, the way that he behaves, the way that he advocates. this shouldn't be something that people should aspire to. And he's up here on Twitter talking about how, thank God this and thank God that. God ain't, no, not after everything that you've done. You need to be apologizing. You need to be seeking forgiveness. You need to be changing your ways. Because you behaving like you behave and spouting the hatred that you spout, God ain't got nothing to do with that. Nothing at all. So you thinking God this and thinking God that, you may have been spared, but the God you claim to serve ain't done with you. So those are my very quick thoughts on Nick Fuentes and the lessons that we can take from him to not follow his mistakes, because it will come back in some way, form, or fashion. When you hate people like that, it comes back on you. And that isn't something that you really want to deal with. It makes you feel better. Like I did in another video, I talked about how people put people down because it makes them feel better. But it makes your life worse in the long run when you put out that type of energy. So let's try to put out positive energy. Let's try to be more forward thinking and unite, because there is so much to unite for. There is so much to unite for. I still haven't done my CEO video. And that's because I'm really thinking about what I want to say about that, because I have a lot. It would be a long video. But yeah. So that's all I wanted to say. Just this quick little video, little follow-up on Nick Fuentes and his whole saga that he's having. But I hope everybody's having a great day today. So, bye, everybody.